Let's go! It's the Yoffs, to quote the one Sean DePaz, who
I was going to call him the late Sean DePaz.
No, he is
only
no,
to
no,
PHNX.
no,
he's still very much alive.
He is no longer.
He's still very much alive.
He's no longer. He's no longer with. No. He's no longer with us. He's very much. He's very much alive and well, but he is no longer with us. Oh, let's go! It's the Yoffs. Let's go! Welcome into the PHNX Rising podcast, baby. Oh man. It's
Max was busy preparing for this show, taking the preparation very seriously.
I was.
He swung down to the D-backs game this afternoon. So that means he's
Yoff
hyped.
times
He's
two.
hyped.
Yoff times two. Let's freaking go, supporting all the teams. But hey, this is the PHNX Rising podcast. Let's freaking go. It's a good time, everyone. Listen, we said what we need to said on the Tuesday show, right? We recapped Colorado Springs, all that stuff. It's in the past. It's in the past because we want to focus on the now. We want to focus on how Rising is going to win this match and all the implications that it can mean.
And not on how you poisoned Sean.
Whoa, no, that is incredibly out of context. There needs to be some
You were putting
context.
things on his desk that he was allergic to.
Okay, first off, allegedly allergic. Second of all, it was if someone did that, they were closed. He's fine. He's very much alive and well, even though he's no longer with us. But Owen, how are you feeling right now about Sunday's matchup?
Ooh, it's a good question.
Give me the juicy
It's
details.
a mixed bag, right? I've said this throughout this, right? You said it throughout. You wanted these teams. You wanted this matchup.
Hell
right?
yeah.
I know you wanted this matchup. I didn't necessarily want this matchup because I understand, right, the pressure that it puts on them. I understand all the other factors that go into this. This is going to be a very interesting game in a lot of ways. I mean, on the one hand, you've got the team in the background and all of that. That's on the one hand. We should also talk about Rising's form, shouldn't we? Really, because Rising's form is not great. It's not great right now. And on the one hand, good, bad, whatever. Okay, I understand that. It's not. This is a whole new start in a lot of ways, right? Yeah. You start off now in the playoffs. Doesn't matter what you've done before. If you come out and win these next few games, it doesn't matter that you struggled against Colorado Springs. You struggled against New Mexico United. Yeah. That doesn't matter. All that matters is that you can get a result in these coming matches. But still not ideal. I will say one thing that I heard from Rising coach Ryan Garrett earlier today. I'll talk you through a little bit of this now. And if you want to find out more about that, go check out an article on gophnx.com.
Nice.
A little bit of a write-up from the presser today.
Read my boy's work.
But one of the things that he brought up here is, look, you compare this team to what happened in 2021. We saw what happened then. We saw how they came out, they'd been... I mean, I have the quote, actually. I have the quote, the original quote from Rising coach Rick Shantz, who was describing comments on from the national side right at the time back in 2021. He said that he thought that the way people were dismissing his team was disrespectful, and I'm tired of it, he said. We won the Pacific Division 6 weeks ago. The guys have been on vacation for 6 weeks. And yeah, people can criticize our performances. I understand as a coach and as a manager that the world is always about what have you done for me lately, but I think it's unfair that people don't look at our full body of work. Of course, Rising then crashed out in the first round. From speaking to Juan today, one of the things he was saying about was like, look, we qualified so early in that one that we kind of coasted. You didn't see the same focus, the same concentration as you're seeing out of this team now. He prefers seeing this that he's getting from his team right now. And I understand that, right? It's an awkward balance to strike. Obviously, you want to do very well in the regular season, but at the same time, when you do like Rising used to do, and you qualify for the playoffs several weeks in advance, and you go on, as Rick called it at the time, vacation for 6 weeks. That's the problem, right?
Yeah. See, this is where everyone trying to play checkers. Rising playing chess, they waited until, the second to last game to really play for it all when it comes to, we can host a home playoff match. They want to stay sharp. They knew exactly what they were doing. And then they used that last week to say, hey, we'll get a little rest against Colorado's spring switchbacks because, it doesn't really matter in theory at this point what our seed is because it's, one of two. So, hey, Rising really looking good. That's exactly what they did. They wanted the 6th seed all along. Is that what we're all saying?
No.
Oh, well, that's understandable.
Not in the slightest. This team won in 4th, right?
Yeah,
but
they
I'll
did.
say
Of
this
course
now.
they did.
I'll say this now. I said this last week. I said that when it came down to it, if you had a choice between finishing in 5th or finishing in 6th, for the reason of wanting the team to have a bit more momentum going their way, to feel like they turned a bit of a corner, I wanted them to get a win against Colorado spring switchbacks. You thought that was going to be an important one. However, at the end of the day, being in 6th has some benefits, right?
Yeah.
There's not very much. All the teams 2nd, 3rd, 4th. You've got San Antonio, you've got Orange County, you've got San Diego, not in that order, but they're 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. They're all much of a muchness, right? And there's a reason it came down to that final day.
That are all much of a muchness.
And that's an expression. It's an expression.
I've never heard of that. Okay, but okay. All right,
they're all pretty much the same, right? Okay, and they all came down to one point. It was going into the final day between 2nd and 4th. The issue is that I think that Sacramento are a much better team. So by finishing in 6th instead of 5th, you avoid a potential clash with Sacramento until the conference final. Again, I think that you could, honestly, anyone can beat anyone in this league, right? I wouldn't even rule out Sacramento crashing out immediately. Of course. It can happen.
Absolutely.
We'll get into specifics of that and specifics around the bracket a little bit more, I'm sure, later on as well. But I don't know. I feel as though, look, 6th isn't where you want to be. Of course, they wanted the home playoff game. It wasn't plausible by that last regular season game. It was out of the question. It wasn't mathematically possible. Of
course.
But at the end of the day, 6th still maybe a marginal, as weird as it is, a marginal advantage of a bit finishing in 5th.
Hey man, we'll take it. We'll take it. Right, you don't really want to be hosting that home playoff match, but
it's still possible. It's still possible down the line.
It is
not likely, but it's possible.
So you're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance. Well, Rising have got to win before we even get onto that.
Yes, of course. Well, and that actually puts up a good point of Rising need to win. When was the last time Rising did get a win?
They need to draw an advance on kicks from the mark.
Well, listen, as we knew in the end of the 8-match unbeaten run, Rising sure know how to draw, so they have that going for them. But
Rising know how to draw in playoff games.
Yeah,
in general,
do. Yeah, they do.
Against the team. What, Max? Dare I ask once again? When was the last time that Rising won a playoff game in 90 minutes?
It's been quite a while. Dare I say? A good handful of years.
The 2018 Western Conference Final. They beat Orange County. Now, you look at that and say, what do you mean that was the last game they won in 90 minutes in the playoffs? They made the final since then. Yeah, they did so with one game that went to extra time and 2 that went to kicks from the mark.
Yeah,
Speaking of which, we've got a little bit of a parallel I can draw you. Should we do a bit of a referee focus?
I mean, I'm always down for a good referee focus.
Referee focus. Elvis Asmanovic should have the whistle.
Okay.
For this game coming up. He also refereed Phoenix Rising's 1-0 win over Sacramento Republic in 2020. Famous, of course, for what happened in that game?
Lest we forget.
The infamous.
Lest we forget.
Hand of Solo. The hand of Solo. Solomon Asante punching the ball into the back of the net, and the goal stands. The goal stands.
Boxing glove.
We love it. We love it. We love it. But Elvis Asmanovic will be making the trip to San Diego to officiate that match.
Yeah. Sorry, 100%. Don't mind us. Producer Emma's trying to be incognito, but she's just crawling underneath the table. Crawling. I totally just outed her, just threw her off the spot.
She's got the cap on.
Why would you let me just keep crawling?
She wasn't even in the frame.
You didn't ask. Oh, that's just what we do around here. That's just what we do around here.
So Emma's crawling along here with her.
We appreciate you, Emma.
And she's got like her hood halfway up, and so it's like you can't see me. I'm just crawling.
Oh, I'm in trouble after this one. Rising. Hopefully, they're not in trouble after the form that they finished on. We keep on going back to. That's a nice transition, by the way. Just want to throw that out there.
I don't want to see Dariusz Formella again in that position.
No,
not from the start. Not from the start. Starting lineup, fine. I don't want to see it. Last 10 minutes, they need to chase a game. Fine. I get it, right? You get to a point sometimes in games whereby late in the match, you're chasing the game and you come out and say, you know what, I don't care. I'm putting everyone out there. I'm going to make the assumption that anyone who potentially could put that ball in the back of the net, I want them on the pitch. I understand that. That's the kitchen sink tactic. I don't want to see the kitchen sink tactic from minute one because it can't be played from minute one. And again, just so many times we've seen those moments, and I understand there are sometimes Juan will say things like, well, I don't know. There was some moments we still created chances. It could have gone all
they weren't quality. As we saw, they weren't quality chances.
How many times over these last few games have you seen instances whereby Dariusz and Danny kind of get in each other's way a little bit?
Playing the do-si-do, the two-step.
I don't want to see that same lineup.
The opposite of the middle school dance.
I don't want to see it in that way. Again, 10 minutes at the end of a game because you're chucking them out there because you're just chucking people out to go and try and get anyone who could possibly get a shot on goal out there. Fair enough. Yeah. I'm not going to argue that. That's kitchen sink, right? It happens. But I don't want to see it from minute one. Okay? By now, I think we have seen enough to say conclusively the Dariusz Formella left wing-back experiment has not succeeded.
Yeah.
Let's not do it again.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty fair to say. Listen, here's what happens when you try to rely on the kitchen sink. When you throw the kitchen sink, sometimes your play can get a little clogged. If you know what I mean. Yeah, they like that
Mike
one.
Simpson about to say, I'm not a plumber, but...
I'm not a plumber. No,
he's not a plumber.
In all seriousness, right? It's something where this team has tried to find their offensive spark, and I think they had a combination that worked quite for a while, right? I know they have a lot of different variety of wingbacks that they bring on that left side, really providing that pace. We keep on going back to it is you just don't want this team to be predictable. And I think the thing that they got away from a bit is during their 8-game unbeaten run, particularly in the first half of it when it was a lot of wins mixed in there. Those performances were offensive in display and they were unpredictable. And yet, they were unpredictable in the sense of where the attack would come from because you can have a nice buildup of passing, but this team really went vertical. They were able to bypass channels, play through lines, and that's how they were effective. But it was also because while the play kept the defense on their heels, the lineup seemed to be far more consistent in who they were building out, and it was something that they had worked many times throughout the season.
Also, shout out right there with the Manjoma. I want to see Manjoma.
Yes,
I want to
they
see
have a lot of
Manjoma.
backs on this team. Yes,
like Gabby Torres obviously is out injured at the moment, right? It's a struggle. I understand that. Okay, he's had his problems with injury. There's not a whole lot you can do with that. The last game, I swear, was calling for Eddie Manjoma. You looked at the way that Colorado Springs were pressing in that game. It was crying out for Eddie Manjoma on the left-hand side. And we didn't see him until way too late.
I mean, it's something where, again, it's about the personnel on field. It's not that Dariusz Formella cannot play that role, and it's not that, right, he doesn't have good attributes, but the thing is, he's a type of player who, again, we've said this, he's deliberate in slowing the ball down, and when you are playing with Danny Trejo, you want to be able to put him in space and isolate him. What's going to naturally isolate a player like that? Someone who is burning for speed on the wing who can stretch this team. That's what's going to happen.
Shout out as well, Super Chump in the chat. Go Joma. You ain't wrong, but Super Chump. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, please give me Eddie and Darnell as the wingbacks. We like that. That'll work.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah, well, you know what else will work and that will take? Producer Emma. Oh, no? Hey, can I get another one? Hey. Oh, what's that?
Hold on a minute.
Hey, oh.
Rattlon Red Ale.
Hey, wow, it's almost like we got a nice plethora. Someone was asking about the tower earlier.
Max, you just witnessed the D-backs winning a playoff game.
Oh, yes. Some might say I'm very good luck for the Diamondbacks.
Indeed. Good luck. Good luck is Max.
That's what people are saying.
All right.
So people are absolutely saying, let me just get the little product placement on there. Shout out our friends at 4P, because as you can see, both on screen in the nice little graphic down here, around here, but also in this beer tower here, they have quite the delectable, delicious, the devouring, savory beers. Lots of selections there, right? The hazy IPAs, the wows, the kilts, the rattle-on red ales, everything like that. Check out our friends at 4P.
He's correct.
Yes, what? The
D-backs go on top.
D-backs
Devin is correct.
The D-backs were quite literally the top can on
they were
there.
at the bottom. Cardinals was top.
No, they weren't. They were
You put
sandwiched.
the D-backs at the bottom.
No, they weren't.
Yeah, they were.
Run the film.
I literally just moved it, man.
Don't
I
nod.
literally just moved it.
Oh no,
to the
Eric,
top.
don't
We
tell me
can
that.
run the film. You're going to be wrong, brother.
Oh no, Eric. Oh, that's tough. There were no bets placed on it. I just want to throw that out there. But yes, fine. Even though the D-backs Four Peaks Rattle on Red Arrow was not on top, they're on top both in our hearts and on the tower, and soon to be within your gullet. Check out Four Peaks for all the latest and greatest brews that they have going on at Four Peaks Brew and at Four Peaks Pub on Instagram. Must be 21 years or older to enjoy responsibly. It's something where I know we talked about certain people on this podcast throwing down certain bets on the game. And all I want to say is this. I'm going to stay away from betting on this game.
I'd like to say, here's the thing, right, as well. By the way, going forward, I'm going to tell people, you can give your score predictions in the chat whenever you want. That's fine. We ain't making score predictions in the playoffs. We have decided we are not going to jinx Phoenix Rising either way, in either direction.
Where's the unit?
We will not jinx.
Where's the unit? We will not. It's not going to happen.
By making any score predictions.
And I will not be betting because people have said that.
Definitely not be betting.
And I will not be standing in the spot for those of you who know that one. I will not be doing any of that. I will not be doing it.
Spot out there.
It is outlined. It is Sports Universe. I will not be standing there.
Certain Mr. Totri is allowed to stand in there because good things happen when Totri stands in there. When Max stands in there, the D-backs give up runs.
Tough.
It's true.
Anyway, as I was saying, I won't be betting on this. I won't be making any score predictions, but I might just be retiring from all bets, even ones that are not sportsbook app related. Shout out our friends at BetMGM, but it's because I lost a bet recently, and I did pay up on my bet as the man that I am in a very timely and prompt manner, as everyone can attest to. I bet multiple bags of OGs. Our friends at OGs, they of course, had me covered with all the different places and locations where I can get their delicious, savory gummies. They're amazing gummies. Well, yeah, they're like delicious, like savory and sweet, and it tastes amazing.
Savory is normally given as the opposite of sweet, Max.
Is that a guaranteed fact?
I mean, it's how
just
most
call it
people
mouth watering. Just call it mouth
salivating.
watering.
Salivating.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say. Salivating. How about that?
Savory gummies.
Well, anyway.
You're not really selling these, mate.
That's
Yummy
bad. That's a
bacon
bad
flavored
story.
OGs.
That's a bad story.
This is why we don't let Max actually make the product.
This is true. That's true. Oh man, there is a music quote that comes to mind. But anyway, check out our friends at OG's Brands, right? That way you can pay off your debts, all of that fun stuff. I paid off my debts in, it was the indica fruits, the mixed bag, and the sativa creams, that mixed bag. Let's just say one person in this room apparently may have won that. They will remain anonymous. Stop. You can hear.
She pumps her fist up and down.
Ironic. Well, there could have been anyone that's a she who won this. Coincidentally, producer Emma is also cheering. But anyway, shout out our friends at OG's Brands. You can check them out on Instagram and all platforms at OG's Brands, and find them online at ogsbrands.com and a local dispensary near you. You must be 20 years older to enjoy responsibly.
Right. Football.
Yeah.
Football.
Okay.
Okay, we're talking about San Diego.
It's starting to feel real.
Loyal.
It's starting to feel a little bit more real.
Tell you what, let's get just kind of a bit of a backdrop to this one, of course, as we're looking at the rivalry between these two teams and kind of how that can play into this. Let's have a listen to what
it's been a while.
Rising captain Darnell King had to say.
I mean, it's always a competitive game when we go play against them. Scoreline says one thing at times, but they know that we always come to fight, and we know that they do as well. So it's always a battle. We know it's a big rivalry. The atmosphere is always great here and there when we go play. So, last game for their organization, it is what it is. We're taking it as a playoff game for us, and if we send them home, it is what it is. But that's our plan, to go there and move on to the next round. So that's what we're focused on. We're focused on us, and we're just ready to go Sunday.
Yeah, look, these two teams, it's no surprise, no secret, don't necessarily like each other very much. And this is one that goes back.
Say that again.
Right, it goes back, of course, to the fact that, of course, San Diego came out in 2020. And look, every team, for a start, all right, back then, Rising were a juggernaut in this league. And every team in the region in general was clamoring to say Phoenix is our rival. They all were. Am I wrong? Yeah. You were around the league at that time. It's how it kind of felt,
I'm
right?
not saying that they weren't.
Every team pretty much in the region was trying to say that Rising were their rival, right? And in this case, I think, they built that by being extremely competitive. I think that San Diego stepped up as well at the time where Rising struggled a little bit more. They've had some really good games between the two of them. There's been a lot of things that have indeed set off some flashpoints. I mean, of course, with the pretty awful incident that happened in 2020. That we can't really discuss this without mentioning it. It wouldn't be doing justice to not mention it.
Of course.
But of course, extremely regrettable what happened there with Junior Flemings and Colin Martin. But then as you look to other incidents that have happened since, there's been flashpoints over a lot of clashes between fans over Andrew Carlton signing for San Diego. I mean, it's things like that that have really built up, I think, a rivalry between these two teams. And look, it's going to be a feisty one for that reason. We should look a bit at the football maybe as well instead of just the off-field stuff. Let's look at the football specifically. Yeah. These two sides met earlier this season.
It feels like centuries ago.
It feels like centuries ago, and there's a good reason. There's 34 games in the USL Championship regular season. These two teams met in Phoenix Rising's games number 2 and 3. Back-to-back, actually, early in the season. Rising met them in week 2, had a week off, and then met them here.
For the opener, for the first ever.
The home opener, the first game at 38th Street in Washington. They met them there for that game.
And what a doozy that was.
That was a 2-2 draw. Rising with 2-0 up in that game and threw it away. Meanwhile, away from home, Rising, of course, succumbing to a multiple goal loss over there.
Yeah, and
so far, Rising have not beaten them this season.
True. First time to do it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a first time for everything, right? Playoffs is a great opportunity to do that. It won't be the first time that Rising have won if they were to win, of course, at Torero Stadium. They actually did it back in 2021.
Yeah.
While the Gold Cup quarterfinals were being played over in Glendale, so I wasn't there for that game. But they scored early in that one, Rising, and then kind of shut up shop, let San Diego pass the ball around a lot and not really doing very much. Both matches, this is San Diego were pre-Panos, is what Reese says in the chat. So, not wrong. Not wrong. It's very true.
I mean, this was a lot of things were incredibly different. It's not just pre-Panos. You had Kev Lambert playing on this team and starting at the back. That was way back when we had Arteaga hadn't really found any type of form. Danny Trejo was coming on slowly. Even in that match where they lost 3-0 away from home, we even said that was a scoreline that was not indicative, or the performance was not indicative of the scoreline, and that team, even in a multi-goal loss, did not play poorly.
No. But you know what? Again, that was a while ago, yes. You know what I say? I say that we have a look at something actually from Juan from earlier today. Yes. And I asked him about what had changed, if anything, in the end, since these two sides last met.
To be very honest with you, I don't think San Diego is changed a lot probably over 3 years. It's a team and it's an organization that has a clear culture with their identity of who they want to be. They have a clear identity also on who they want to be on the field. Their playing style, their game model, it's been pretty similar for years now. It's a lot of players that are returning from last year and also a lot of players that were there from year one. Coaching staff, same thing. So it's a team that I think has evolved, has probably transformed to get better year after year. Since year one, when you see them now, there's a clear ascending curve. But their identity is pretty much the same. Same at the beginning of the year when we faced them twice. I don't think they've changed who they are as a team, but structurally they adapted and tweak a few things. They play multiple systems during the year. And they have tried, new players as well. There's some new players that came in. There's players that left last week. They've been playing good. It's a good team. If you ask me, if I had to pick someone on the whole list of the West to play, I would have picked San Diego. This is a soccer game that we want. This is going to be a proper soccer game, and this is a game that we want. And I'm sure this is a game that our fan base and the full stadium that is going to go watch is going to enjoy watching too. So this is a good game for the USL. This is a good game for the league as well, and hopefully we could put together a strong game plan that leads to a strong performance that takes us to a good result.
Yeah. Listen, it's been a minute, man. It's a weird thing. We talked about this a lot before we started this pod of you have an idea of how this team likes to play, especially with who they've had within their coaching staff, that it's been a team who's been around for a while. And while you have that in mind, you also have to know that even the last time you played them, there's a lot of differences. Yes, there's some carryover, but you have to straddle that line very accordingly, and it really might change how you come out this week.
Yeah, it might. Look, again, there's a lot of things. I see the one question in there about who do we start in the two central midfield spots.
It's a $1 million question, that one.
It is. And I would agree. I feel like Carlos Harvey paired up with possibly Jose Andres Hernandez would be the right way to go.
Don't hate that.
Right? I feel as though the pairing that we've seen in terms of Hernandez and Zambrano doesn't have enough in terms of the attacking threat that they provide. I don't think they quite have the same about them that Carlos Harvey does in terms of managing to create something from having possession in the middle of the park. And so as I look at that, I think, okay, I want someone who's got a little bit more of a spark perhaps to them. Because again, this is a team that hasn't always necessarily found those moments in recent games. They've struggled a little bit more, and having two reasonably safety first midfielders in there. Yeah, I'd rather maybe see something a little bit different to that. But
I think something a bit more to Carlos Harvey's point. Also, something a bit more dynamic. Again, this is no slide on Renzo Zambrano. You know what you're going to get from him, but he's very much more of a defensive minded type of player. Whereas 100%. Carlos Harvey, listen, he can provide a lot of cover in the defense, but this is a guy who, especially when he was starting, he gets forward often. He's scored multiple goals throughout the season. It feels like we haven't seen him in a starting role in a while. Consistently,
no, we haven't. Anyway. I mean, we saw him in the last game.
Yes, consistently.
But even then, he started as a centre-back.
Yeah.
Which isn't really what I want to see him. The question is you see some of the pace, though, that San Diego can bring here? What are you going to do defensively as well? To me, I think you have to look to a guy like Mo Traore, probably in the back three, who's got more pace to him. I think Stenberg's great at reading the play and great with the ball with his feet. But I don't think he's necessarily got the pace there. Juan Mayor does not have the pace to keep up with some of the pacier elements of San Diego's front line. So I think that you are going to have to realistically look at having Mo Traore in this some way. Devon there with the 4-3-2-1, I think, is the wrong approach. I'm sorry, Big Kev. I don't think that's going to... I think you need more bodies back there in defense.
So. Especially how this team can counter.
And again, it's pace. They're a team that can come with counter, right? You've got to have bodies and pace at the back, and it's not necessarily having your central defensive midfielders in those things. Harvey, when he's in this league, he is... When he's on form, he's a step above, right? We know that. He's better than this league. He's just not good enough to be consistent in MLS. Okay, he's in that awkward in between kind of area, right? That's the ground he occupies.
He's just growing. Yeah,
he's just kind of there. It's Carlos Harvey, but I think overall, I would personally go with Harvey and Hernandez right now if I had to pick.
Okay. I mean, I don't hate that. I think we've all already kind of talked to death at this point who we don't want to see on there. And again, it's not by lack of effort or talent, but again, I think the whole experiment, everything like that, we want a different wingback, right? Want a different wingback on that left-hand side. Darius Famella, have him come off the bench. Fantastic. Or even just in something different, but it's just, I don't know. We've seen what we have. We want something a little bit different. I would like to see this team play what really was at the heart of the beginning of that unbeaten streak.
Yeah.
I like the personnel there. And also, by the way, it should be noted, ever since you decreed that we're not giving our predictions, I have not seen anything from the chat. We like it, chat. Good looks.
We're all agreeing on this one. We all agree. No predictions, no jinxing.
None
of that.
No.
However, let's talk a little bit more about this, because there is an element to this game that is a lot different to most meetings between these two sides.
I'd reckon.
And that is the fact that, of course, the additional edge to this game is the
what
fact
could that be?
San Diego Loyal will ultimately fold at the end of this season.
Yes, they will.
So, I'm actually mentioning Jose Andres Hernandez. He was there last year, right? That was San Diego's first playoff game.
Yeah, it was.
At home. First home playoff game.
Sure.
The atmosphere is going to be so much different in this one because, again, this could be their last. They might well win this and move on. They may be away from home because, of course, they are the free seed. So, in theory, if both of the higher seeded teams are to win, there in 2 and 3, then they would be away from home. But it adds an edge to it, right? It definitely adds an edge to it, and I think we should have a listen now to what Juan Guerra had to say earlier today about the kind of edge that he thinks it's going to bring.
Massive. I think it's going to be huge. And that's something that I am not trying to match as a coach. I'm not going to try to push our players to match those motivation levels, because our players are not living that, and we can't do that. That would be a mistake. We just need to understand that we're going to go to a place where at times when the game starts, especially the first 20 minutes and the last 15, the crowd is going to play a big role for them. It's going to be loud, it's going to be demanding and challenging for us. When they have the ball, they can create that false sense of that they're hurting you because the stadium is loud, but probably they're not. So we need to be so focused, we need to be so concentrated and understand that at times we're going to suffer, at times we're going to be demanded, and we're going to feel uncomfortable defending, and we need to do those things. And then when we have the ball, we need to keep it. We need to have longer spells of possession, and then we can control the game how we want to control it, and that's how we can start feeling comfortable. But if you ask me, Owen, how do I match up that motivation? Because I mean, from next year we have other ways to match up that motivation. As I was saying to you, is who we are, who we represent, why are we here, why did our players choose to come to Phoenix Rising, why did I choose to come back to Phoenix Rising? That's us. That's an internal motivator, and that's a lot bigger than any other external things that can happen. So that's what I'm going to demand of the players. That's what the players understand, and that message has been the same message since day one. It hasn't shifted. So this is a week that we want to see all those questions answered, and we want to go over there and make sure that we can make the organization, our fan base, our supporters, our families, and ourselves proud.
Yeah. I will say here to Damon in the chat about the where's the, this is the time to go. We're going to San Diego and put a nail in the coffin. It's what Rising does. You can't say that, Damon. Okay, look, Juan Guerra's job is to write Rising's team talk. It's not to write San Diego.
Nice.
Okay?
Nice.
You say that as a fan. He can't say that as the coach. He can have all the laughs and jokes he wants if they get the job done. He can't do it now.
Yeah.
Okay? You can't do it in advance. You can't be that person. Look, I think it's really going to add an edge to this. I think it actually makes it important. To me, it makes it incredibly important to get the first goal if you're Phoenix Rising. To me, that is critical in this game. The crowd is going to be a part of this game.
It is.
The players are going to be a lot more emotional, especially those guys who have been with San Diego Loyal for years. Those guys, there's going to be emotions. If you as Phoenix Rising can get a goal early, make them go on the back foot, you're going to see the emotions start to play its role in this game.
Absolutely.
You will see them chasing. They will be getting desperate. They will be making challenges they shouldn't make and picking up yellow cards, probably. They'll get themselves in yellow card trouble they didn't need to be in. That will cause its own problems further down the line. Of course, we saw, again, mentioning that Jose Andres Hernandez was there last year, as was Ale Fuenmayor, by the way.
Yep.
Even though he went off injured, I believe, in the first half of that game. We saw San Diego last year in the playoffs, got in there, had their struggles. What happened? Jose Andres Hernandez earned that first red card. You know why? Because Thomas Owain gets his yellow, and then what does he do? Owain walks straight up to Jose Andres Hernandez and gives him a nice little finger in the face.
That was something.
That gets a second yellow card in there for him. But that kind of, and that was the first of 3 red cards that San Diego had in that game. They finished that match with 8 men.
Not great from a numerical perspective.
No, right? But that's the thing. Yeah. If you can force them to lose their composure,
which is
to
very
play
likely
into the emotional aspect of this game, to be chasing it, and to make bad decisions because they are chasing the game, because they are getting into the emotional side of this match and what it can mean, that only serves to help Phoenix Rising. And that's why, from Rising's perspective, getting an early goal, taking the lead, is critical. Get that first goal, and I think Rising have got a good shot.
Yeah, man, you ain't wrong. Even if you look at the first match that Rising played against Loyal this season, away to San Diego, it was volatile. It was very much pushy-shovey. It's something where this team plays on an edge. Both of them very, very much do. It's going to be important.
Again, knowing the edge, though, that this game has, I'd like to return us to referee corner for a minute.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
So I'd like to shout out assistant referee number 1, which is Stephen McGonigal. Stephen McGonigal, you've probably not heard of that name before. Speaking of Sean,
I need a yawn. Sean!
Hold on a minute. Sean!
No!
He's run off to the D-bag show.
I mean, to be fair, the D-bags are
probably more important,
yeah.
to be fair. But...
Wow.
It's kicking off outside.
yeah.
Stephen McGonigal, where was he?
Sorry. I'm just...
Where was he when Rising saw him in the playoffs before?
Oh, gosh.
You know.
I know.
He was AR1 for which game, Max? Who were they playing?
I know.
And you know, since I'm bringing it up contextually, Reno 1868 against Phoenix Rising. Stephen McGonigal was there as Phoenix Rising pretty much ended Reno 1868.
Stop talking about that. What time is it, Sean? It's the motherfucking
Someone's excited back
Let's
here.
go. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah,
Appreciate
we were
it.
talking about you earlier, Sean. Yeah,
Yeah.
Come on. You join us now. Just kind of kneel down in the middle. Yeah. You're behind the beer towel, but yeah, we were talking about you earlier. We were talking about how, despite the fact that his best efforts to kill you, you weren't dead.
Oh,
You
no.
were no longer with us.
Oh, no. Yeah. No, he is still with us.
Yeah,
he's alive and
he's
well.
still with
He
us.
did attempt to kill me.
Well, no, we can't get this on
All the
record.
times, whatever.
Are we live? We're still live?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
gosh.
here nonetheless. You can't kill me.
Oh, man. This guy.
Nice little appearance from Sean there, who just showed up in the office, apparently. R.I.P. Reno, says Damon.
Oh, boy.
But there's the thing,
It's
right?
good
So AR1 for that
enough.
game, which was Reno 1868's last ever game,
Yeah, it was.
will be AR1 for this one, which could
I mean, that's
If Rising
that's
were to
foreshadowing.
win
That's
or
foreboding
progress in this competition.
for
Would be the end of San Diego Law.
play. Yeah, it's.
All right. Carry
Oh,
on.
you missed that last part. No, it's something where, hey, could be fortuitous, might mean something, might mean nothing. All we know is we do want to see a lot of
His team
support
is going to
there.
need Sean levels.
Oh
of
yeah,
energy
yeah,
on
we
Sunday.
really are. That's
Thank
right.
you.
That's right, Red Balls. Yes. No, it's going to mean a lot of support. We want people coming to San Diego, and if you're going to be driving to San Diego, you can stop a couple places along the way, and one of those places might be your favorite neighborhood,
Circle
K. Circle K. That's right. They got everything. I was at Circle K. Made a snack run the other day. Did I make one today? No, because I'm only generous so many times per week. But Circle K is generous every darn day of the week, right? You download the Circle K app. You opt into the Inner Circle program with all you need is, 10 digits. That's right. I can do math. I'm no mathematician, but I can do math. That's 10 digits. All you need is your phone number, including area code. And you can get in the Inner Circle program. What does that get you? 5 fill-ups. Those first 5 fill-ups, 25 cents off a gallon. You get multiple Polar Pops for free. That's 5 Polar Pops for free. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my voice a bit. And you can regain your voice by not only the delicious food that they have, Polar Pops, everything like that. You get your 6th hot menu item free. Check out Circle K, their Inner Circle program. Shout them out. And check them out near you. And while you're going to Circle K, you're going to be driving, you need to block out the sun. You know what you need for that? Producer Emma.
They're in front of you.
I never saw that.
Why do you think Emma was crawling in front of us
You
earlier?
stopped the show to point it out, and then you don't even reap the benefits.
Where she was. I wanted you to throw it to me. Oh, Producer Emma, what are you going to do? Anyway,
Emma's not going to throw
Producer Emma is
Shady Rays
absolutely
at
just a
you.
guest right now. Shady Rays, right? They're not going to let you down. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Emma would never let me down. But
They'll let
Shady,
you down a lot less than Max Simpson.
that's what they say. Anyway, Shady Rays keep you cool, like the other side of the pillow. Keeps you nice and chill, nice and shaded. It's always a good time because Shady Rays, they have the best freaking guarantee. Whether you lose your Shady Rays or they're crushed by the embrace of a Phoenix Rising head coach earlier in the season, it doesn't matter. They have a fantastic guarantee program. And here's how me personally, no, I'm kidding, PHNX as a whole is going to hook you up. Go to shadyrays.com. Use code PHNX.
Max is buying Shady Rays.
No, I'm not buying Shady Rays. Shady Rays can buy you Shady Rays. Use code PHNX like you see on the screen or hear from my dulcet tones, and you can get 50% off 2 pairs of their polarized shades rated 5 stars or better. Can we go 5 stars or better? I'm going to give it 5 stars or better by 250,000 people. Check out Shady Rays for the best thing going in eyewear protection. Okay, well, no, I'm kidding. I was going to use it. If you want to be protected.
You know what, though? If we're moving on now, we're going to ram this show out now, right? We're getting towards the end, but let's have a look quickly. Can we have a look at the bracket quickly? Because you know what I said? I said we are making no predictions on this show, but I lied. You know why I lied? We're going to predict every game other than Phoenix Rising's game.
We're going to go rapid fire, too.
Let's do it. Rapid fire.
All right.
Right. Sacramento against New Mexico. Who are you picking?
Sacramento.
I'm going to take
Go for you. Okay, Switchbacks against San Antonio.
I'm going to take Switchbacks.
I'm also going to take Switchbacks. We're skipping that match 3 through 6. Orange County, El Paso.
El Paso.
I'm going to go C.
Oh.
Okay. Going over to the east side, Pittsburgh Riverhounds versus Detroit City.
Pittsburgh.
Yes. Memphis 901 versus Louisville City. this is a tough one. This was the one that
Louisville.
Okay. This was the one that tripped you up the other day. I'm also going Louisville. Charleston, Battery, Indy 11.
Charleston.
Indy. And Tampa Bay Rowdies, Birmingham Legion.
Legion.
Oh, I almost might take Legion. I'm going to go Legion. Yep.
He's going Legion.
I'm going Legion.
He's going Legion. Okay.
Oh, boy. That's crazy. That is absolutely bonkers.
Remember, if you've got some predictions, though, around the USL games there that are coming up, you think you know who's going to perform well player-wise?
It's almost like there's some sort of fantasy application, if you will.
We've got a competition going. Some of you have decided to respond. Shout out to those of you who have entered your teams. See as well if you can beat, of course, the famous John Morrissey of USL Tactics fame.
That's what they say.
Relative
or me.
Fame, of course.
Or you can try me. Or you can try to be me
in
in fantasy. Good luck with that.
There we go. But
it may be fantasy, but I'm your worst nightmare. That's good. Wow, that was actually quiet in the room. Everyone hated that.
I'm
universally.
getting a thumbs down from
Not
our
even Emma laughed at that one. That's tough. Oh man. Yeah. Check out the Fantasy League, right? Please DM at PHNX__rising if you haven't already done so to get in on the fun. Hit us up.
No, it's already on Twitter. All the links are on Twitter.
Yes, if you have any questions, of course,
questions,
hit us up in Discord with any questions, and just berate Owen as well, OJ Evans 18, with any questions or anything.
Me?
People are already calling you out for being late. You're already late to start this pod.
Max made us late today. I blame him.
I did not, actually.
I think I blame you, Max.
That's tough. Emma, no. Oh no. Oh boy. Buddy, anything else that we haven't hit for this match against San Diego?
Oh.
I have one thing first, but anything from your end?
What? Well, go on. What do you say, and then I'll have a
Well,
thing.
first big one. First of all, Owen, do me a favor. Can you just close your laptop for just a second?
Why?
Just because I want people to look at your chest. Look at his chest, everyone. Admire his pectoral region and the chest and the torso and everything like that. Because you can get
weird, man.
No. We were just talking about fantasy. We were talking about fantasy, and now I'm talking about your body. It's a totally normal thing. Anyway, if you want to look good like Mr. Owen Evans is, check out phnxlocker.com. Our Rising merch, especially the shirt, is back in stock. The scarf is back in stock. You can look amazing. You can look amazing like your boy with a wagon shirt if you want to support the D-backs. But this ain't no PHNX D-backs podcast. This is PHNX Rising podcast.
They're over there.
I think they actually just ended.
They're probably still over there somewhere.
Yeah. But hey, check out all of our merch on phnxlocker.com. Become Die Hard as well. Gives you a new opportunity to interact with everyone in the Discord. And rumor has it, again, we are not going to be doing jinxing, but if a certain team wins over a certain team, you are going to want to go into the Discord from some very exclusive content. That is what we will say.
Apparently so.
That is what we will say. And the other thing I'd like to shout out is our friends at Valley Taproom, because we have agreement in place, and I'm going to need...
The agreement is... If you get there, Max will buy you a beer.
Actually, if you go to the watch party, I will buy you a beer. But
Max is going to buy beers.
I just kind of blew the lid off it. We need people. If you guys are interested, hit us up, say in the chat, hit me up on Twitter, hit us up in the Discord. If you are interested in going to the Valley Taproom PHNX Rising watch party for Sunday's game.
His tower is leaning.
It's a leaning tower of beer. If you want to go to that, hit us up. Shout out in the chat that you're going. Watch party at Valley Taproom. Check them out. It's a great freaking time. 202 and Gilbert. Those of you guys who are on the east side, check us out, Valley Taproom. We will be there. I will be buying you a beer if you are there. I'll even give you bonus points. You wear a PHNX Rising shirt or scarf, I'll buy you a second beer. Whoa. It's a lot of beer.
When you're ready to say cheers.
Don't do that.
Don't forget.
Too bad producer Eric doesn't know where the button is.
Producer Eric, what do you think the line
He don't know.
may be?
He don't know where the button is. Yeah.
Something about beer?
It's Max is buying beers.
That's fair. He don't know what the button is. That's right. But yes, shout out Valley Taproom again. Hit us up with any questions. More info to come. But show up. Have a good time. Shout out my man Donald. We will be there.
Having some drinks.
Let's go.
Having some drinks. I'll have to wait until after the game, unfortunately, for my drinks.
Oh boy. Yeah, you will. Yeah, man. It's good. We have it's gonna be exciting. It's a very teeming with anticipation, this match on Sunday. That's what we'll say. Well, I'm getting a certain what's it called? A signal
We call it nonverbal communication in the business.
Yeah, we do.
But we had an agreement from earlier in the show that
I'm a man of my. I'm nothing but a man of my word, people.
it seemed like you were trying to skip out of it, to be honest.
To the hype. You
Oh,
know
no,
what?
I'm
gonna
waiting for producer
introduce
Emma. Can I get a-
Come on, replace me in this seat.
Can I get some keys? You got a little. What's that?
Oh, I don't have keys.
I'm actually already. I'm kind of liking the shades. You have to. Omaha. Yeah. Oh no, we almost had it. Right through the mitts. Oh wow. Yeah. What is this? Is this a?
It's like
It's a Lego piece.
now. It's been slowly eroded over the years.
Oh.
Like a Lego
Like a little
piece.
logo. I did not know that. Wow. You have a nice keychain. Okay. Anyway. You want the? Oh man. Okay. For those of you who are listening on audio, this is going to be a horrible medium. But Emma, what are we about to do right now?
We're about to shotgun.
Yeah, we are.
Max is gonna shotgun a beer. I'm gonna shotgun a non-sponsored drink.
Yeah. This is fair. Thank you for hiding the sponsors. No free ads, as you guys
It
know.
will probably show. I'm really sorry about that, Max.
I gotta get my little can. Oh yeah, she
With
Emma,
the teeth?
Emma is a savage.
I'll do some play-by-play. Emma with the teeth breaking open the unsponsored can.
Thank you, Eric.
I'm just a delicate guy with my
Max
key.
taking his time.
I'm a man of precision, if nothing else. I don't want a nice
I
paper
fucked
cut or I guess metal cut. Don't want that.
I made my whole. I'm not gonna.
No, you
finish.
gotta make it gaping. You gotta make it gaping. We're gonna say it exactly what it is. You don't wanna. You wanna be efficient. All right, hold on.
And also this.
Oh boy.
Guys, I'm so close to ending the stream. You guys.
Please don't.
Go.
This is possibly the most pathetic I've seen.
There we go.
Let's go. Are you not entertained?
Call that
I'm
PHNX
so
ASMR.
entertained.
Oh man, that was gulping. Oh boy, appreciate everyone joining us over here on the PHNX Rising podcast. Join us Sunday after the match for postgame. As you know, check us out on Arizona's Family Sports for the pregame. We're a little bit more tame than this, but as you know, hit us up in the Discord. Hit us up on Twitter at PHNX__Rising for all the freaking ton. Yes, Max is buying beers on Sunday. Join us over at Valley Tap Room on the east side. I want to burp, but I hope that's all what happened. I'm not going to do it. Anyway, check out everyone. You can follow me at Max David Simpson on Twitter. You can follow Owen on Twitter at OJ Evans 18. You can follow Emma at Emma Ann Clark on Twitter. You can follow Reese at Reese11_, just the one underscore, not this stat like you thought there was 2 underscores, but there's only one. You can follow producer Eric. Welcome to the PHX Rising podcast and the circus ensuing at Eric Ruby, if I have that correct, sir.
That's right. Just the name.
Let's go. It's a beautiful game, but it's way more beautiful when you're shotgunning beers and Rising are in the
We all silly like the mayor.